Okay, today is the 15th of November. We are leaving Monterrey and going to Mexico City, so we're waiting for our Uber to go to the airport. That's one of the most difficult things we've had to deal with on this trip to Monterrey. I think it was the same the last time we were here, is getting transportation around the city. It's very complicated, very difficult, and very expensive. We're not here long enough to figure out how the bus system works, which would be much more affordable. But our Uber from where we're at to the airport, it's like 12 miles and it's going to cost us like $16. That's pretty expensive for Uber. You see the kids there with the bag. Uber will be here in just a few minutes. Well, I wanted to do a walkthrough and review of our Airbnb here. So we're in Guadalupe, which is just outside Monterrey, but just a few miles, so it's basically part of the city now. This room has been sufficient for us on this trip because we only spent the night here 2 nights. We got in late day before yesterday. We had all day yesterday, and now we're leaving early this morning. But if we were staying here long term, this would not be sufficient. No stove. All we had was a microwave, so we were just eating out. We do have a supermarket like 1 block away, which is extremely convenient. But using a microwave, and then they do have a refrigerator, but there's no shelves in it, and so it's hard to like put things in there and have it organized because there's nowhere to put anything. It's just a big box. It does have a TV, but we never turned it on, so I don't know if it even works. The beds were sufficient for me and the kids. Ezekiel slept on the top bunk. Catherine and I slept on the bottom. But one of the things about the electricity has a bunch of burned out plugs. I don't really like that. It's cold right now, so it's still getting pretty cold at night in Monterrey. So we didn't need to use the air conditioner, and sleeping was very comfortable. However, at night there was a lot of street light, and it did leak through the curtain and the door. That they do have this Airbnb blackout thing on the door, but light still came through. Bathroom's very small. The shower had great hot water, but to adjust the cold, it was either extremely cold or extremely hot. There was no easy way to find just the right setting, so you had to work the shower. But it did have hot water and good water pressure, but it's kind of small, so the curtain would rub against you and the curtain would come out and get water all over the floor. The toilet would tend to clog a little bit, and they only provided like half a roll of toilet paper. I didn't want to bother them too much because I just bought a roll over here at the supermarket. It was real convenient. But overall, the bathroom was sufficient. Room's very small. The only thing that they didn't provide was a chair, so there was nowhere to sit in here, and there's no table, so there's no closet, no way to organize your stuff. And so that was definitely something that they need to work on and provide better facility. The other thing is, when we arrived, we found it pretty easily with our Uber, but the combination, so the keys go in a lockbox, and that's the way a lot of the stuff in Mexico is. You don't necessarily meet the people face to face, but the combination they gave us was incorrect. So when we got here, then we had to communicate and wait for them to respond. It was relatively quickly, 30 minutes or so, but it could have been more streamlined, and they had the wrong combination. But once we got the keys, then it was real easy to get around. There was no dishes in the thing. I had to ask them for a coffee cup, which they provided, but they didn't provide spoons, plates, nothing. But the real big positive takeaway from this is that their internet is probably the fastest I've ever used. Seriously, I uploaded a lot of YouTube videos, so much so that I had a few people unsubscribe. I think I was just like blowing up their YouTube subscriber thing so much, because I probably uploaded 50 or more videos. Anyway, so here we are. Here's what outside of our Uber looks like. Our Airbnb. We're waiting for our Uber, and we are headed to the airport. So we'll do a few more videos throughout the day. It's about 7:15 in the morning. We should be in Mexico City around 12:30 this afternoon, and we'll check into another Airbnb there. We'll be in Mexico City 8 days. All right, Monterrey, Mexico.